Today we're going to look at fear and anxiety related to the coronavirus. And I'll give you some tips on what to do with that using an energy release in a few minutes. So first I wanted just to say about fear. So fear, of course, has its place in our world and in our life. And the place of it is to alert us to things that are scary and dangerous. And so, of course, what we need to do is pay attention to that fear in terms of what do we need to do to protect ourselves and our loved ones, that kind of thing. So what we know about this is that we need to wash our hands, we need to keep quite a bit of physical distance from people, and this has been shown to be effective in stopping the spread of the virus. What happens, though, is that we get carried away with the fear, and we start worrying. We start worrying about what's going to happen in the future, what's going to happen in my country of origin, what's going to happen with my loved ones, all of that kind of stuff. So the worry is really what tends to take over, and often paralyzes us, so that we get into a state of being scared about everything, going out, talking to people, all of that kind of thing. And some of that, of course, is protective, and you need to judge for yourself what kind of protection you need, but also to be aware of how much is too much, how much is like just paralyzing you and stopping you from moving forward and having a life, still having a life in whatever ways you can do it right now in the present. So what I'd like to do today is to use some cards that were developed by Jaz Goven. And this is a game, actually, that was developed for children originally. However, it is helpful for everyone, in my view. And, of course, we don't have any children right here in front of us, so I'm going to do it in general. And, of course, it's helpful for the children as well, so if the children would like to look at this part of the video, or listen to it, that would be great, and I'd love to have feedback about that, how that worked, the kids' reactions, and of course your reactions as well. So what I'd like to do first is to have you look at these cards, and we have one card is scared, and this is a you. You is the character, and you can see that you is quite constricted, and this is what fear does to us. It constricts us. And then the other card is worried. And if you'll look here, all the question marks on Yu's head, coming out of Yu's head, and this is typical exactly of what we all do. We start worrying about what's going to happen, how is it going to be, what's going to happen in the future, all kinds of future-oriented kinds of things. Okay? So what I'd like you to do is to look at these cards for yourself and see how they apply to you. How scared are you? How worried are you? And where do you hold this in your body? What part of your body? So, for example, for me, I hold worried in my head. It's the thoughts. And scared, I hold in my chest. So I'm just going to take a moment to check for myself, and if you check for yourself now, usually it's easier to close your eyes when you do this. Check in with your body, and how worried or scared are you? So I'll use worried. I'll say I'm at a 3, and scared at a 3 as well. So your numbers may be the same, or they may be different. Okay? So now what I'd like you to do is look at these cards and to follow me. We're going to do a release that starts at the third eye, which is right between the eyebrows, and goes over the top of the head. So if you'll say after me, I fast-track the release of all worried and all scared that I'm holding in my body. I release all worried that I'm holding in my head at a 3. and I release all scared that I'm holding in my chest at a 3. I allow myself to let go of as much of this as I can right now. I forgive myself for holding on to these feelings and for wanting to hold on to these feelings, to feeling I need to protect myself. I forgive the universe for not sending the message of why this is happening. And I forgive the governments for not being prepared in how to deal with this. And I choose and allow myself to support my own power, my own ability to take care of myself, to pay attention to what works for me, to help others I'm close to, and to feel calm and curious. Now, so take a minute. Again, you can close your eyes and see what number you're at now. What number for worried and scared. So I'm down to a 1 for both of them. And you may or may not notice a change in them for you. Sometimes it takes a while to integrate this energy kind of work, and sometimes it's very instant. So each person is quite different in how they integrate this kind of thing. So just enjoy it, and you of course can do it many, many times, this kind of release, and it can continue to help you release all of this. So I hope you've enjoyed this. It's fun to do, and I plan to do some more of these live Facebooks, and I'd love to hear any kind of feedback. Any kind of feedback. It was helpful, it wasn't helpful, it was too disorganized, anything at all, positive, negative, any kind of feedback would be great to hear, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye-bye.